Nithyanandam Paramasukadam Kevalam Jnanamutim Dvandvatitam Kaganasrisham Tattvamasyan Vilaksham Ekam Nityam Tamalamachalam Sarvari Sakshibhutam Bhavatitam Triganagahisham Satguru Tam Namami. Nityanandam, everyone. I'm still learning the lyrics of the prayer, so bear with me. So I'm just doing this video in regards to the death process that we had yesterday, because I did share that we were preparing for a death process. So yesterday was so special. Before we did the death process, for the past, I'd say, I think 4 or 5 days, every day we've been doing completion sessions. So completion is writing down all the traumas and all the incompletions, all the things that you feel have been bothering you in your life, all your past memories. I'll do a video about completion so you understand the correct context. So we've been doing completion sessions and we've been writing them all down. So I had about like 10 pages of like completion sessions, completion sheets I've been using. So there was a Homa for Kalaberaba yesterday, and we were invited. Like, it was so random, like it was unplanned. So our acharya, how do I forget my acharya's name? Mapurna Swami. Acharya is a teacher, so she's been teaching us during this orientation for Sarashivatva. So she lets us know that we're gonna have a Homa. So during the Homa, we take all our completions, pages that we're writing down, and put them in the Homa, and we burn them. So we're giving them to Kalabeda, but he must deal with our incompletions. And then after that, we had our death session. So before the death session, we listened to a satsang by my guru, as you can see right behind me. Hi, Swamiji. So we had a satsang. So a satsang is like sort of like a course where he's channeled Kalavedaba, the Lord of Time and Space, and he was answering like every single question you could think about death. What death is, what to expect, because we have all these crazy things about death, and all our fears, every single fear we have comes from the fear of death. You have a fear of falling, comes from the fear of death. Fear of failing comes from the fear of death. Every fear we have comes from the fear of death. So if we deal with the fear of death, then we basically deal with all our fears. So we would listen to this discourse. It gave us great context, and we entered that session with like no expectations. So the death process starts, and I must say, I realized that death is it's so simple. It's so easy. It's like life flowing. Nothing different from here. It's sort of like changing your clothes and wearing new clothes. Why am I saying that? During the session, there was a moment where Ma Purna was leading us through what to do, like, what's happening now. And as she was leading us through, as the body is dying, she's calming the body down. As the body is dying, I felt immense pressure coming from my root chakra. I felt like my being was coming out or exiting from this area, and literally my whole body felt so cold, like a dead body would feel, because you're dying. And in that moment, for the first time in my life, I've never been able to separate myself from my body. I am this form that you are seeing right now, and I've never been able to mind, body, soul. No, it's just things we hear, but we don't really connect, and we don't really know what we're talking about. So for the first time, I was able to look at my body, and I'm not looking down, I'm not looking sideways. I don't know. All I know is I am looking at CD, at this body that I've called CD for 28 years. And I'm like, what? I'm looking at CD. who am I? But because of the course that we had done with Swamiji, he explains that there's no difference between our soul, his soul, the ultimate soul. It's all one thing. It's just reflections, like the sun. When the sun is shining and you put a mirror and the mirror reflects, it starts a fire. It does not mean that the fire and the sun are two separate things. It's the same thing. It's just that the mirror is reflecting. So we have this duality of I am fire and the ultimate is sun, and we are separate. That's where actually the suffering starts, because you have this separation and this duality. So in that moment I realized that, oh my word, this was never me, this is me. And then for someone it was still, it was very still. It was like, I can't explain it. It's such an incredible experience, you can't even explain it. But let me just try. So I had this experience, and then my body suddenly, the door just opened. My body suddenly, there was like no, I understood, I understood. For the first time, I understood. And the time stood still. But here in Adi Kalash, there's basically time is always still. Yeah, there's never time. So it was just, oh, and he explains, my guru, that death is just a completion. Like, it's just moving the same way that you've been moving with life. If you've been struggling and you have many incompletions, I'll do a video about completions and completions so you understand incompletions and completions. If you've been having incompletions, you're just gonna reflect into another incompletion body. If you have completions, it's just gonna be still. And since we are devotees of Paramahamsa Nithyananda, and he is the ultimate, of course, reincarnated and came down here on earth, we have, this is called a mala. As you can see, it's got his face on and it's got a rudrashk. So when you have this mala, when I die, he comes and fetches me himself, because obviously I am his devotee. He comes, fetches my soul, gives me an option. Do I want to die? I'm already dead, sorry. Do I want to take another conscious birth, or do I want to be liberated and become one with him? If I choose a conscious birth, I will be born conscious. I will not be born like unconscious and have to suffer and stuff. I'll probably be born with parents who will take me to Gurukul, a school for conscious kids, and I will choose my parents. Like, it'll be a very, very conscious birth, sorry. But you only get one conscious birth. So after that conscious birth, I can't have another conscious birth. And then, or I can return back to source if I don't want another birth. There were so many interesting things that he revealed in there. He also revealed that he was explaining about ghosts, what ghosts are, and how we should not fear ghosts, because we actually have 7 layers and ghosts have 3 layers, and they are actually lower frequency beings than us, so they are less powerful than us. They can only appear, and only in our stupidity we can get scared and give ourselves a heart attack, but they can't do anything to us. Maybe when they're appearing they want help, or they specifically need something from you, but it's never, they can't harm you, they can't do anything to you. Which was really, really liberating, because most of us are scared of ghosts and stuff, and they actually can't do anything to you. He was even saying if a ghost appears, just laugh at it and it will disappear, because there's nothing it can do to you. What else did he reveal that I can share with you, the guys, that was really interesting? Let me think. Oh, he also says, why are we doing this whole death process? How is that going to benefit me? Well, he says, if him and I take a trip to the Ganga is a river, and we go and we bath in the Ganga, and we have this amazing experience at the Ganga. When I go again to the Ganga by myself, I'll remember that, oh, I was here with Swamiji, we took this route, it was really good. It will be familiar. So same thing with death. When I die, I'll remember, oh yeah, I did this with Swamiji. Ah, man, there's nothing to be scared of. And funny, I really feel that way. Like, I'm not scared of death. Like, if I had to die right now, I'd know that, oh no, man, it's so calming, it's so chilled. Like, we actually have these crazy expectations because of movies and the things that we see. We think that death is so crazy and so scary, and we create all these shastras and crazy things about it. And when it's so pure, it's just like life. It obviously just depends on how you're living. If you're gonna be picking up karmas, killing people, eating meat, which yes, you are incurring karma, you will then obviously have to deal with your karma and your incompletions when you die. But obviously, if you're living in a complete space and you're living for life, then life will be for you too. There's no difference. How you're living your life now is exactly how you will carry it through to the next life. So the best way is just to get yourself in completion and not fear death. There's nothing to fear, and we should stop having these crazy fears. Like, life is so simple. Maybe it's too simple, but death was a really beautiful experience, and I don't fear it anymore. I know the day I die, I'm okay. Like, I'm fine. And plus I have my guru. Like, I'm sure you're wondering, what is this, right? This video is getting too long. I'll quickly tell you what all of this on my face. So this is Al Shada. It's like a paste that we use when we're doing power manifestation. It's like a catalyst. So it helps us like manifest a little easier, quicker. It's not the source of the manifestation. I am the source of the manifestation, but it's a catalyst. I'm sure you guys all know what a catalyst is, right? It just helps the process go easier and smoother. So, and this is basma. You wear basma all the time just to keep us in the space that we're in. And yeah, thanks for watching, guys. I'm hoping that this video has some clarity on the death process. Nithyananda.